Welcome to Morning Mimosas, where we put value in criminal justice, meaning that we highlight criminal justice issues affecting the Black community, wrongful convictions, cold case victims, and also missing persons, and getting the truth for them. We promote healing, meaning we like to tackle the issues of mental health, making sure that we break the stigma. And of course, education, making sure that we're educating our community. Knowledge is power.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Holly Sisa. I am the founder of Morning Mimosas. And today we have a special treat. We are doing what we call a Where Are They Now segment. But before we get into that, first and foremost, I'd like for you guys to know, if you guys don't already know, Morning Mimosas values criminal justice, healing, and education for your Black asses. But back to the topic at hand. So today we have two guests that have been on Morning Mimosas more than once. And I'm excited to have these two ladies on here um, because they're just two beautiful and gorgeous women. And while I'm also mentioning two gorgeous women, I also want to account for our two co-hosts that are not here today, Miss Lily B and Miss Fatu there with Morning Mimosas in Spirit and whatever you ladies are doing today. Hope you guys are having a great day. So let's go ahead and welcome our two guests, but let's give them a proper Morning Mimosas welcome. Let's do it like this.
Hey. Oh, Harley got a morning mimosa.
I'm like, you got to if you're going. It's the season, y'all. Don't do me like that.
I should have planned better.
No, so my first appearance here, I did not, and I was like, wait, I'm on a show called Morning Mimosas, and I have nothing. So then the second time, I was definitely drinking, and then this time I was like, I'm gonna drink for Where Are They Now? Because we're drinking, baby.
Let me finish my tea, and then somewhere during this segment, I'm gonna join you, Harley. I promise.
I'm like, come join me. It's never too late to join happy hour.
I absolutely love it. Welcome, ladies, back to Morning Mimosas. We are so glad to have you guys on today. As you guys know, this is our Where Are You Now segment, and I'm so glad to have you both here because these ladies have thrived and they've gotten better since the last time they were here, which is what they are. They're great. So it's absolutely amazing. I don't know who wants to go first, but tell the morning mimosas of the newer ones, because the last time you guys were both here, morning mimosas did not go viral. It went viral afterwards. So for the newer people, especially our fan base is now in Africa now too.
Nice.
So
hello to our African friends and family.
Good evening. Good evening, Murasokas.
Yeah, I love it.
We're here for it. Want to touch the world.
Sorry, that week I had to revive myself.
I'm just excited to hear, Amber. I would love for you to start because I heard you rebrand it, and I'm like, let me be nosy.
Yeah, let's be nosy. We'll all be nosy together. I'm happy to share. So, yes, I am Amber Joy, and I'm the CEO and founder of QUIVR, or you may know me as Amber Joy, CEO and founder of the Pink Cookie Shop. You would not be wrong. We are still legally the Pink Cookie Shop LLC, doing business as QUIVR. So we decided to rebrand to QUIVR. Yes, we rebranded to QUIVR because we are a sexual wellness pleasure organization. And the big, huge chunk that I think that was missing from the Pink Cookie Shop is that it didn't feel inclusive. It sounded like it was only for women. and it was limiting in our ability to touch all the audiences that we wanted. It's an inclusive community where we're going to, on September 19th, we're officially relaunching, you guys. And that relaunch will be officially at Denver Startup Week. And we're going to have a party on September 19th. So if you're in Denver, I will make sure Holly has the information because you were all invited to the QUIVR launch party. But yeah, so QUIVR came from several gentlemen who I pleasure coach saying, it just doesn't feel inclusive. And I said, okay, fair enough. That's fair. I want you guys to feel inclusive because you're the other half of that equation. If you're in a hetero relationship, and if you're not in a hetero relationship, you're still the other half of that equation. So we wanted men to feel welcome here. And so that's what I'm excited about. We'll be relaunching our website. So it'll be QUIVR.global. So I'm happy to hear, Holly, that you are international because there's a whole reason for that. And I'm excited. So on our platform, it'll connect everybody to the Mighty Network where you'll purchase your membership. And with your membership, you will get online courses, on-demand resources, at the palm of your hand, coaches. You'll have an inclusive community where we'll have events, workshops, discussions, live workshops that we'll be going through, live courses where I'll pop in and say, you're in lesson 2, let's talk about it. So it's highly engaging, highly inclusive. I'm excited about being able to roll it out to you guys, but even more so, it's an ecosystem of sexual wellness. You need a sex therapist? We got you. You need a coach? We've got you. You need resources and learning because you're not quite ready to be out there with everybody else. Because for some of us, we want to learn in private. And so we've got you in that space as well. And you can connect to other like-minded people. And we've got DMs. You don't have to accept them, but it's a nice way to connect with others in the community. So we're excited, you guys. I'll definitely keep your audience posted because if you're in the Denver area, even if you're not in the Denver area, you are very much so invited to the launch party on the 19th. We'd love to see you. There will be some door prizes. So, and you know, if QUIVR's in the house, those are going to be some nice door prizes. So, but I am excited to bring pleasure to the masses.
Ooh, yeah.
That is so awesome.
Yes.
I like the name QUIVR. I know why that is. Honey.
It's not quivering. It's
Look,
not
the name reminds me of like Mufasa. Say it again. QUIVR.
It's supposed to make you quiver. So I would love to see you guys in the community. It's easy.
If you are ever looking for virtual instructors, I teach pole dance and sensual movement. So if you ever need workshop stuff or things of that nature, please.
Harley, you're hired. We'll talk after. Right? No, seriously. You guys, serious too. I know you guys want to see Harley in a QUIVR workshop, right? You want Harley to host? I actually think she should be hosting one of our workshops.
I still need to schedule my my classes with her.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, I've been teaching sensual movement and dance for the last 8 years. And the studio that I taught at I ended up walking away from it last year, along with everything else in my life, when I decided to bet completely on Harley. But before,
always bet on Harley.
Right. I'm like, I just needed it to be for me and me only. But before that, the studio that we were in, we were not a trick-based studio. We prided ourselves on being a space where women who you would see every day would be able to just tap into their inner siren and be able to just like live in their body. So I do a lot of breath work with my dancing. I do a lot of mental work with my dancing, mirror work. So yes, I'm definitely invested.
Let's do it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, Harley, I wrote your name down, which makes it real now. So
that's it.
See, I don't know.
Harley, you are literally the tunnel by which all of my breakthroughs happen, because every time I meet somebody on your show, they become a part of my life. So thank you.
That is
always connecting. I love it. It's a beautiful thing.
That's my goal. That's my goal, is to build connections in the community. I want us to be what a community is supposed to be, not all that nonsense that goes on outside of that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really, really glad, because that means I'm in there like swimwear. Okay.
That's right, baby. When you and you know, because you know, Holly, you're gonna have your QUIVR membership. So when you log in, you'll be able to go down to the Harley Hendrixx House of Seductive Dance. I think that's what we'll call it. I
Okay.
think that's what we'll call it.
Did a business transaction just happen in my?
I love
It
it.
did. It
I love
did.
it.
It did. It did
Come
just
on,
happen. That's
Christina
what I
Job,
do.
right here.
That's what I do. But it's
I
all
love
about bringing the QUIVR family, the QUIVR community, the best of the best, and to be able to have fun in everything that we do in our pleasurable lives. Because that's the important part, right? Sex is not just about sex, pleasure, and you've got intimacy, and you've got all of those things. You can have sex without the pleasure,
Yeah.
right? So we're gonna master them all.
Your element of play. That's one of my biggest things when I do dancing. It's like I want you to be the most inappropriate version of your inner child ever. Like I want you to play. I want you to feel led to play with your body and the shapes that you put it in. So I'm excited. Super excited.
That will be fun. All right. So I will be in touch with you, my dear.
Yes, ma'am.
After this, we'll work that out.
Look at me running my mouth, and I'm not actually running my mouth for what I'm supposed to. Hey, y'all. So
run your mouth. It's your turn.
Right. First of all, just shout out to Morning Mimosas and everything that they've done for me. The last time I was here, we were on the Why Are Black Women So Strong episode. That was the last time I was here. And since then, our crochet business, actually my little mimosa has the Handmade with Love emblem on it. Our crochet business is upticking. People are ordering. We have a website that is in the works right now. I've done some personal branding things that just stepped me away from. I feel like I've been a part of so many entities that looked at me as a part of their entity, not as like my independent contractor self, as a part of, their entity. Like even just now, Amber was like Harley's house of blank, blank, blank. Like it's every other situation is always like, this is Harley and she represents this brand. But it's like, no, actually I represent me. And so I've done a lot of rebranding, and I've stepped more into just the entertainer space, as well as continuing to push the motivational speaker space, because I do my empathic listening on this app called Happy. That is completely anonymous. So Happy spelled HAPI. You can call that app and you can vent to some of anybody, but one of those bodies is me. Okay. And other folks are on the app. You don't have to tell them anything about you. They don't have to know anything about you, but it's a space where you can just feel comfortable to be your best self. I started Happy 2 years ago when I retired from teaching. So I was a middle school special education teacher for 6 years. And then I said, you know what? I am tired of waking up every day crying on my way to school. And then also a little bit more of a deeper meaning as to why I stopped teaching. My partner actually had a very serious conversation with me. He and I experienced a very emotional miscarriage at the end of that last year. And he was like, you know what? I love you and I will work 12 jobs before I have you working one job that can risk us having a family. Yeah. And he and I got a chance to really sit down and have that real conversation about me having no desire to be a mother. And he was like, that's great, but you still need to get out of there. So we got me out of the classroom, and I started doing Happy, because if anybody knows me, I don't know how to just sit down. So I did the house 2 weeks. And I was like, sir, I cannot keep doing this. It was beautiful for about 2 weeks, taking bubble baths in the middle of the day. Woman of leisure. I think as a woman of color, that is something that is a dream. So I took those 2 weeks and I enjoyed it. But after that, I was like, okay, I'm losing my mind. And so I started Happy. And as in the midst of taking calls on Happy, people were like, are you a life coach? Are you a therapist? And I'm like, no, I'm just a really nice friend who can give great. But they really spoke it over my life. And so now I'm in the process of getting my certification to become a life coach. Happy comes with its own certification. So that's globally recognized as the empathic listener. And so now I'm just building. I'm trying to take as many workshops as I can. And just let people know. One of the things that I realize in life is we are hurting. And people are hurting because trauma and pain, it creates literally chemical imbalances in our mind. And for a very long time, a lot of us have just written that off as how we are. We are chemically imbalanced and that's it. And one day I feel like I woke up and I heard it very loud and clear. I think it was after losing my big sister. I lost my big sister 2 years ago, and I woke up one day and said, if I can hate a person and chemically imbalance them, then if I wake up every day and I just love the fuck out of every person that I can, maybe it'll knock some stuff back into balance. And so that is my mission statement. My mission statement is I wake up and I give love without any real understanding as to what my end goal is, other than I would love to see more people smile.
I love that. That's a beautiful thing. Harley, can you tell those of us who are new to empathic listening, although I guess I can probably guess what that means based on the two words put together.
Right. To break them down a little bit.
Holly, I'm gonna take your job real quick. Can you tell us, Harley?
I love it.
I'm okay with that.
What that means?
You know you in a good interview when your fellow guests are interviewing. I love it.
Teach me, I want to learn.
To break it down even deeper. So when we think about empathic listening, I think about the levels and the tiers of listening. I think about emotional listening. If I'm your friend, I'm your sister, I'm your cousin, I am going to listen almost from a place of bias. And a lot of us don't want to admit that, but when we love someone and we practice what's called emotional listening, we are listening from a place of bias. My goal is to make you feel better. When I emotionally listen to you, I want you to understand that I am on your side, even if your side might not be the most probable side.
Right.
When you get to the next level of listening, where I kind of feel like I find myself, is the empathic listening. I understand where you're coming from, but because of my anonymity on this app, I have a little bit more courage, I'll say, than someone who is emotionally tied to you, to give you an unconditional positive regard, which means I'm going to see you right where you're at.
Right.
I still have enough space there where I can hold you accountable.
Well, that's the imaginary friend part, right?
Right. And then the great thing about it is because you don't know me, I could plant the seed and you can never water it.
Yeah.
But if I love you, I never even feel comfortable planting that seed. So emotional listening, I realize a lot of us do that. And I love emotional listening. I love to be an emotional listener. But when I'm in the professional space, I am an empathic listener. And it comes from this place of, I am going to allow your emotions between the two of us to be visitors in this conversation.
Gotcha.
I'm not going to grab onto any of them, and I'm not going to let you hold them too tight. I'm going to pull them away, and they're going to sit in between us. And so we can really look at them and say, you know what? Here's where I can hold you accountable. Gotcha. Here's where other people were wrong. This is duality. We need to have this conversation. But right here, I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm going to plant that seed, if nothing else.
Gotcha. That sounds a whole lot. I mean, some similarities in terms of listening and using kind words and love that comes through it with respect to tantric speak or tantric listening or tantric lifestyle, and how we pour words into one another and use analogy to explain the other person, and connecting with each other using language that's not harsh, heavy, but empathetic, and taking it in. So what you do, Harley, I think it is a beautiful thing, because it reminds us and reinforces us that sometimes people just need to be heard, and heard from an empathetic place without bias, without even suggestion, right? I just need to be heard.
And honestly, just seen. Sometimes there are people who sit on that app with me. There's a young woman, we actually talk once a week. I just go about her Friday morning with her.
Interesting.
We don't really talk. She'll say, "Hey, how you doing, Harley?" We'll have a little, the beginning of the day type of conversation. How are you? How's the weather? Type of energy. And then I can hear her moving around her day. At one point, I was putting myself on mute because I'm still moving around. And she's like, "Harley, if you're doing household chores and things like that, can you keep your phone off mute?" And I said, "Of course." So we sit and we do dishes together.
Interesting.
And we will every now and then
companionship.
Companionship. It's literally this idea of, like, after 2 years of being in our houses alone, people are alone. People are
lonely.
And so
lonely is a real thing. I see that a lot.
Loneliness I have a friend who's an EMT, and she started doing a study of people who came into her emergency room. Over 85% of the people that were coming into her emergency room had 0 symptoms.
Wow.
They were lonely.
Yeah.
And it's better for me to be pro
and
poked and prodded for an illness that I don't even think exists.
Yeah.
And for me to sit in this house and
just to have comfort, to have company of another,
of someone else.
Yeah. I mean, we see that a lot at QUIVR. We see it a lot. You know, people come to us and think that they've got sexual dysfunction in some level, and it's really not. There's not a dysfunction there. They just want a connection with another human. And so we work through that and how to find space within ourselves so that when that other human isn't there, they're still whole. Because ultimately, right, that's the goal, is to be able to feel whole with or without Harley, or with or without QUIVR. Although we want you to stick around because
that's what I say. So I say that so frequently in my conversations. I started giggling when you just said it. I tell a lot of my talkers, my highest vision is for me not to have to hear from you anymore.
There it is.
And you know, people who suffer from loneliness are immediately like, "What do you mean, Harley? You don't like me? You tired of hearing my stuff?" I said,
"No, because I want to see you grow.
But I want to see you grow. I would rather you call me and say, "You know what, Harley? I haven't felt the need to call you in 90 days, and I love that." I want to hear that. I don't want to hear, "I know you're tired of hearing this, but here I am again." I don't mind hearing it. Okay. I'm going to be here for it. But my goal is to
release you
something for yourself, because you are whole without me. Even when they ask me clarifying questions about their life, my response is always, "What do you think? You're the expert.
You're the subject matter expert here. You know you the best." Yeah.
We've, as a people, somehow we've fallen out of touch with our own inner voice. And so we stop trusting ourselves when that little voice goes, "We're going to be all right."
Right.
So we come to someone and we say, "I'm going to be all right," right? That validation that people are seeking, it is not that they are needy. It is not that they are doing too much. It is literally that they can hear themselves saying it and they don't believe it.
They don't believe what they're saying, the words that are coming out of their mouth. Yeah. Hey, Holly.
Hey. I am here. I'm just listening to y'all chop it up. I was gonna come in when I was needed, but we are gonna go on a brief commercial break, and we're actually gonna come back and talk about loneliness, because I talked to you both about that last week. So
yeah, let's do it.
Right back after this commercial from Be Divine.
Be Divine. Meet the owner, Lily Wee. Self-care time? Check out her services listed here. I release, I love, I am free, I am balanced, I am healed, I am love, I forgive. I release, I love, I am free, I am balanced, I am healed, I am love, I forgive. I release, I love, I am free, I am balanced, I am healed, I am love, I forgive. I release, I love, I am free, I am balanced, I am healed, I am love, I forgive. 5 reasons you need a yoni steam. Number 1, it improves the menstrual cycle. Number 2, helps increase fertility. Number 3, heals the womb. Number 4, it makes sex better and more enjoyable physically. And number 5, provides overall relaxation. Does your skin need a boost? Get a Dermalogica Age Smart Facial. Check out the benefits listed here. So if you need some self-care time, or you just want to get away to get a nice treatment, please book now with Be Divine.
And we are black and blacker than ever. We are back with Morning Mimosas, everyone. We are here with Miss Amber Joy and our favorite professional imaginary friend, Harley Hendrixx.
Hey.
And before we went on that small commercial break, we were, well, they were talking. I was just being more of a spectator because I love when my guests make my job easy. So, loneliness. We're just speaking on that. So I like to be very transparent with my fans and transparent with you guys as well, because you guys are my folks. So that loneliness thing is a real thing. And I really wish that people didn't feel like that. But with inflation, it just makes it a little bit harder to.
Yeah, because it's harder to go. I mean, life costs money.
Yes.
And if you're suffering from loneliness, and to your point, Holly, the way that the economy is set up today, inflation is real. Everything is elevated. We live here in Colorado, where it's probably it is one of the fastest growing cities and the most expensive. It is definitely top 10 most expensive to live in. And so even getting ready to go out to connect with other people, you can go sit in a park, you can go sit on a patio somewhere, but 9 times out of 10, if you really want to get engaged, it's going to cost you something.
Money outside. My friend said outside costs $100 a night, and she is not wrong.
Yeah.
It is. And I think honestly, a lot of people, I think, did get comfortable to the isolation of the pandemic. And there are some folks who are comfortable in their isolation. And I think those people need to, as a whole, work on being a little bit more gracious with the folks who are not as comfortable with the isolation. Because I think myself personally, I am a person, I crave solitude. Mm-hmm. But because of the energy that I know that I intentionally bring to a space, people always want to see me. And I'm always like, whoo. But that is why I have to be gracious with them and myself, right? I have to understand that my solitude is actually a part of my boundaries. Because once upon a time, I used to sacrifice my solitude for other people and what I felt like they needed from me, right? Because I love you and we want to be around you, Harley. And it's like, okay, cool. Even though my social battery is like, ma'am.
Isn't that how it works, though? Is for those of us who are outwardly extroverted, the recharge is significant. I crave solitude as well, but what about if it's a situation where, Holly, I'm wondering if this is where you're going, where solitude, isolation, and loneliness isn't what we're wanting in our lives?
Right, exactly. That's me.
Yep.
Yeah, and so it's like, and it's funny because we are usually very close friends with folks who are on that opposite end of the spectrum, so we get a chance to kind of see it a little bit. And I think that's why I feel like that's why we're able to like have certain conversations, or even just feel like it's okay to check it.
Sorry, my dog's in here.
Oh, hi, doggy. Doggy said, wait, now I'm talking too about loneliness. I love it.
No, he's just yelling because my oldest, I don't know why my dog acts like my oldest son is not my child. Because if that man moves around, I do say man because he's 18, so I'm calling him a young man. If he moves around at all, my dogs are like, why are you moving? This is mama's house. Did she say you can move?
Mama say you can get up. That is so beautiful.
Yeah. But you know what? You make a great point. And it's hard too, Holly, I can empathize because as a single mom, and you have little ones. My kids are a little bit older, but when you're a single mom, that adds a whole nother layer because are you technically alone? No. But when you are managing children, that's a whole different situation from having adult interaction, adult stimulation, adult higher level of stimulation. There's all kinds of factors in there where you could be in a room full of people, your offspring, your people, and still be lonely, right? And when you're a mom or a parent of any form and in a single capacity, it goes even deeper because that loneliness can be fueled from, I now have to find childcare. Let's say if finances are not an issue, I can afford the things that I need. If that's not an issue, I still got to find a childcare provider, one that I trust. I still have to hope that that childcare provider is reliable. I still have to hope that anybody that I invite in my life is safe for my children, right? Because that's always, always the number one. And so now loneliness becomes not necessarily something that we just have said because we have that, I just kind of want to be to myself. Usually when we can be like that, it's because we have the option of not being to ourselves,
That's true.
right? And then when we've got children in the mix, it's like, and I can't just mix and mingle anytime, all the time, and every time with all the people because you don't know who they are. You don't know where they're going. And your job as a parent is to protect your children, right? And so being in these streets is not always the right option. So I empathize, Holly, because I get it. It's not as cut and dry. We crave, and that's kind of where Harley and I kind of intersect in terms of what we do for a living. Because for me, the loneliness is about how do I teach you, Holly, that the intimacy that you get even from your daily interactions, you have intimacy on every level with everybody you encounter in your life, regardless if you're at the grocery store, I always tell people to, when we talked about this earlier, implement that tantric speak, even if you're at the grocery store. And here's why. Because you're forming connections with people, and people intimately dissolve down to mush if they feel like, hey, this Holly woman is a beautiful person and she's kind to me and she's sweet to me. And then you'll have that connection so that your intimate connections outside of your personal home life are a little bit more meaningful, even if it is with strangers. So for example, like Harley, I just met you today. So if I was trying to teach you to deepen intimacy and connection with other people outside of your home, I would meet Harley and I would say, Harley, it is a pleasure to meet you. You are a beautiful soul.
Thank you.
She's instantly, wow, thank you. Yeah.
It's funny because I think about my day-to-day life and I think about how many people I've seen and they remembered me because they've seen me before. And it goes back to what you're saying. Even in my day-to-day life, if I'm walking through a grocery store, every person who I lock eyes with, I go, hi, how are you? And if it's a woman, I go, oh my God, you're so beautiful. And I just I literally feel like I plant seeds all over the place. And I don't even remember. You're in my eyesight. I feel like that's just better. It feels good to me. And honestly,
it does help with that loneliness. It does. I know that sounds generic, Holly.
If I'm talking and I'm kind of engaging with you, I'm a little less nervous. So if I'm in a grocery store, that's scary for me. Like curbside was the best thing that ever happened to me. I don't like to walk to the grocery store. I enjoy socially. I don't even go to concerts. I watch concerts right here on my 75-inch in the living room with I'll be fully dressed up, but I can't focus on the subject at hand if there's a large group of people around me, which is funny because I'm a dancer, I'm a performer. And
that's an expression for you, though.
Right.
So that's
we're in different places. So I think that's another thing is I think a lot of the people who feel immense loneliness, they also have a hesitancy when it comes to just saying a simple, hey, hello to a stranger that they do not know, where they can be creating these meaningful connections through just like walking through the grocery store and going hi to 5 people that they don't know, giving 2 people a compliment.
There it is.
Allowing that to grow and see where that happens. There.
You'll be surprised at how those little connections end up being significant because you feel poured into in that moment. Because people can't help but not to say that there aren't just ugly people out there. There are just ugly people out there.
Okay.
But majority of the time, I spend most of my day when I'm out in public moving about, I tell people thank you and that I appreciate them. I tell people, you are an amazing soul. Thank you. You're beautiful today. Hey, look at you. Because it just, it lights them up and it makes you feel good to see them lit up. And then everybody's happy and everybody feels warm. And everybody has a moment that they can connect to in the day that they had a positive interaction. And that helps us defeat loneliness too, even in our regular errands, because we're connecting with others. And I tell people, just even when I'm doing my pleasure coaching, just because people get afraid of that phrase, right? Tantric, or that word tantric. Like, I'm not trying to have sex with my grocery store worker. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying create the energy around you so that when you do go into the bedroom, it's not a foreign concept. to have gentleness, kindness, and appreciation for the one that you're with, because you spend your whole day doing
and you're not threatened by it. I found that as I get more in touch with myself, even being in a relationship, being in a long-term relationship, I love to watch my partner compliment women. I love to watch him see another woman and be like, wow, babe, her eyes are stunning. And I remember
he's recognizing beauty.
And I remember a time where because the energy was so blocked, that would be offensive to the person. You know what I mean? And so to live in a space where we can even have conversations where we acknowledge that, like,
because you're not codependent on that one person's intimate pouring.
It's just like you can be able to acknowledge that I get love from a lot of sources. So I don't have to lock down on one source, not even my own, not even myself. I don't have to feel like if I spent 3 months being your friend and we stop talking tomorrow that I wasted any time.
Nope.
Because I'm replenishing all the time. I gave you what I had at that moment and thank you. But I'm okay. I'm going to be all over again. And that is what's so beautiful.
There it is. So that's why I always tell people when I hear, I sometimes I don't directly hear I'm lonely, but what I do hear is I see and witness, and I can put it together. And then I say, perhaps you think you're lonely. Perhaps you're lonely, right? And that's the easiest solution. I'm telling you, it's the easiest solution. So, and Holly, I told you, you're always welcome. You ever need to just come sit and hang out.
Yeah, I definitely need to take you up on that. But
but you know what? We're going to get you out on September 19th because you're going to be at the QUIVR launch.
Oh, I'll be there with my camera. Probably go live from there,
There you go. There you go. Miss Harley.
I didn't do it.
We will be
virtually. Probably. I'm a young 6 kid, so whenever I hear my name, it's always I didn't do it. Now I there virtually because I know that I'm not traveling in the near future, and I'm in Chicago.
Okay, well, we'll make sure we get you a virtual pass.
That's why I was like, if you need a virtual instructor, girl, I got you right from Chicago.
And everything is virtual. You guys, I'm telling you, QUIVR, everything is virtual. When we do have live events, you will know, and I'm focusing that on our retreats.
Yeah, so, I was like, maybe retreats.
A retreat? Oh,
yes. It's coming, you guys. Wait on it. It's coming. And regardless, Holly, you should be at Denver Startup Week anyways. The community needs to see you.
Yeah.
You have to win that award that we voting you in for. So you're gonna have to be around to see the people. You have to win this award, man.
Yeah, we need to see you at Denver Startup Week, Miss Sissa.
Wait, it's funny that you guys mentioned that a lot of people want me at their like different events. And I'm just like, yo, for people who know me, I'm like, I have car problems. I mean, I just, I'm very, very transparent.
That's okay. Today you do. Tomorrow you will not. We're going to manifest that.
It's only temporary. It's only temporary. I'm saving up the bread to fix my car. But
there it is.
But, I'm just like, it's just not as easy. And then, so, okay, honesty time. I love my Black folks. I love y'all. I do. But sometimes I can't stand y'all.
It's like a family. We argue sometimes.
Sometimes I just like to be away because
we are each other, and you can't stand yourself as much as you think you can.
I know I'm trying to change like a narrative and everything like that, but it's just like some of the stuff that I see, I just get so disappointed with our community, y'all. I'm just like,
you know what? You have to think though, because here's the thing, Holly.
We've been free 60 years.
Well, but not even that. That matters too.
I'm like that. We've only been free 60 years, so we have to fix our whole civilization.
We do have things to fix. But what I was going to say to you, Holly, was that just remember to mind your tribe, though, because here's the thing. For me, I can start on two hands. I'm blessed, and I know people misuse that word, but I know that I am blessed because the people that fill my space are highly curated and invited to be there. And so I feel like today I have about 10 girlfriends, and I would probably say 10 male friends as well, equally dedicated to just doing the right thing in life. And so, hear me when I tell you, it is not that your people are out here acting trifling and foolish. It's the trifling and foolish people that are part of your people. But what you have the beautiful right to do is to weed those people up out of your space. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if I picked up I'm just going to arbitrarily say a name so y'all don't at me like, why didn't you say me? Y'all know who I am. I'm just picking names. So if I just randomly was like, hey, pick up the phone and I'm like, Dre, me and my family, we are suffering and I don't have any money for groceries this week. She's at my door. There aren't any questions. There's no scolding. There's no condescending. There's no when you going to run me this back. You picked your tribe. In the moment, it's the same thing with dating. It's the same thing with intimacy and love and sex and relationships. The best thing about this is that we are born into this world solo dolo. So anybody that we add into that space is because we chose to put them there. If they send up a red flag, I see you. I send you blessings on your way out the door. But I cannot. And I wish people, don't get me started. I wish people would be a little less hesitant to hit block.
Do you hear me?
Okay.
Hit block. If I gave you peace,
negative place, it's okay.
Yeah,
I'm not mad at you. I just don't feel the need. And because I don't feel the need, I want to be intentional about not having the access.
I don't want that in my space. I can be cordial. If I see you in the street, I will not act outside of myself. I'm not going to behave like an animal. I'm not going to behave like a crazy human being. What I am going to do is I can be cordial. Hey, how you doing? How's life been? But then I continue on. That doesn't mean I have to invite you back into my space. And hear me, people will try. People will try. And that's okay. I love you. I'm still in this space where I need you over here. You don't have to say it. Our actions say everything. I gave you that one time. You were disrespectful to me, whatever it was. I'm giving you my peace and I wish you love and the growth that you should experience. I hope that you experience in the rest of your life. Amen. But in this moment, this is me.
Yeah.
This is me. And I have to protect my peace. So when people ask me, I'm 44 years old. And in the last few years, I have never been happier. And you know why? Because I do me. And if you don't like me,
then you shouldn't be around me. And it's okay.
You have to be around me. And it's okay. And I mean that. I mean that.
If you're around me, you think the world of me, because if I'm around you, I think the world of you. And that has been my rule for a long time. And it's so funny that you say this and you come as a beautiful form of confirmation today, Amber, because I do live a life where a lot of people are like, you are way too quick to like create distance. And I tell people like, but why would I be slow to do that? Like, you naturally did this. So, and that's why I tell people like,
I don't like being an ugly person. So if you're around me and your energy is nasty all the time, eventually I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna be nasty back. And I don't
because the thing about me, I'm competitive. So that's the reason why I only keep people around me that want to love, so I can try to outlove them. Because if you get around me and be a bitch, I'm gonna outbitch you, actually. And so I know that about myself. And because I know myself, I watch my level.
I mean, that's fair. That's transparent. That's protecting your peace.
Me, you gotta be positive, because the thing is, I'm a person. I am a sponge. I'm gonna adapt. I'm on what we on. And I had to I didn't realize that about my life. Like I was going through
on what we on. That's a good
and I didn't realize it until I was like, no, but if you get around the rah-rah, you will act a fool. Okay, come here. Let me put you right here. You need to be in this calm space with these people. And one thing about me is like, I can forgive you, but I can't give you the access because either you did not know, and that means that you were naturally not trained, and there's nothing wrong with it, but I'm not going to go back and undo some 20 some odd years. Or I'm not doing that. Or you knew what you were doing and it was intentional. And then at that point, I don't even want to talk and give you an opportunity to be politically correct about the way that you're going to explain.
Or what?
I don't want it. I don't want it. I just want us both to realize what it is, because maybe you needed to get your rocks off that day. So I ain't going to even be mad at you, because whatever I lost, I'm going to get back. Because I'm abundant. So I'm okay. Whatever.
Do y'all have something in y'all's cup? Y'all have something in your cup?
It's tea. It's almost
well, you have something in your cup?
Oh yeah. You know
Okay, I want y'all to, since y'all are giving us some info, y'all can have this moment right here.
I need to put something in my cup. I'm being good.
You guys are dropping just so much knowledge and so much information, and that's one of the big things about Morning Mimosas is educating people. People just like someone had asked me, like, "Are you just a true crime podcast?" I'm like, "No, I do everything for the Black community podcast. We value criminal justice, we value healing and education. You guys bring the education and the healing part, so I just appreciate you ladies for coming on here.
For you, we're here for it. We're here for the community. We're here for anybody who wants to learn how to live a better life.
Because you ain't got to be mad. Like I tell people, look, if you gonna wake up and you gonna be here, and I know a thing or two about not wanting to be here. I know a thing or two about knocking at the door of not being here. Oh, but God. So I understand, baby. But if you gonna be here, that's why I used to tell myself after my like second failed suicide attempt, I was like, you know what, bro, you're not going nowhere. Because if you was gonna go somewhere, we would be gone right now. I always sat in the mirror and said this to myself, and that's why I tell my friends, be careful when you come to talk to me, because I can't talk to you no more soft or harsh than I talk to myself. And when I sit in the mirror, I'm like, okay, bro, we here. Because every time we done tried it, something pulled us back. We call the right person, we get into the right room, we don't cut in the right direction. Come on, let's talk about it. We not on our way out of here. So if we're not on our way out of here, how we gonna make while we here good?
Yeah.
We started moving things and we started realizing that certain stuff we trick ourselves out of. I just saw a video said that we self-sabotage as a way of manipulation because I can control this. See, if I do this, I know for a fact that this is going to happen. I don't know what will happen if I stand my ground. I don't know what will happen if I stay away from that person. I don't know what will happen if I actually listen. I don't know what will happen if I actually spend them 90 days by myself. I don't know what will actually happen if I be disciplined and wake up every morning and do it. I don't know what will happen if I fly. I know how to fall. So I'm throwing some shit in front of myself so I can fall. But what happens when you decide you want to fly?
Yeah. Gotta be ready for it. You gotta be ready for it. Thank you, Paul. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. So I'm gonna have you, Miss Amber, reiterate the information for the September 19th event, and then we're gonna jet on out of here.
Sure. So I'll tell you what, you guys, the best way to keep up with us is to follow me on Instagram at QUIVR, QUIVR.global. You can also go to our website currently. Now I will tell you that it is transitioning. So on the 19th, that's not it, baby. It's QUIVR.global. And it's a gold Q. Let's see if I can pull it up here. Now our website today is www.pink-cookie.com. On the 19th, but if you're following me on Instagram, you'll be able to keep up with us. On the 19th, it'll switch over to www.QUIVR.global. You got it, baby. That's it. I'm sorry, it's www.QUIVR.global will be the website. So I look forward to seeing all of you guys. But the real exciting part that happens on the 19th is the Mighty Network opens, and that's our community that you can become a member of. And I would love to see all of your beautiful faces there. So that's how you find me. And if all of that fails, make sure you feel comfortable emailing me. You can reach me at amberjoy@pink-cookie.com, and I answer all emails. All right. I love you guys.
I love that.
Harley, you have any last words for our folks today?
Smile more. Don't take yourself so serious. None of us are getting out of here alive. If you want to connect with me, I am Harley Hendrixx 6, the number 6 on all platforms. Hey.
Perfect. As you guys know, this is Morning Mimosas, where we value criminal justice, healing, and education for your Black asses. Have a good day, my brothers and sisters.
Love you all. Be well.